If you ever heard a driver say, I used the split sleeper berth to save my day, and had no clue what they were talking about, you're not the only one. The split sleeper brake is probably the most misunderstood and underused part of the hours of service. Some drivers do use it every day to make their day flow better. Other drivers don't use it at all because they don't understand it. Today, I'm going to explain the split sleeper in plain English, simplest way I can do it. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to understand it in the way that you can use it to help you throughout your day also. The simplest way I can explain what the split sleeper is, it's actually, instead of taking a full 10-hour break, you can take 2 qualifying breaks to split that 10-hour break in half, or not necessarily in half, but you have 2 breaks that you can split it into. You have one option is 8 hours in the sleeper, 2 hours off duty. Another option is 7 hours in the sleeper and 3 hours off duty, or anything in between those. You know, say you have 7.5 hours in the sleeper and 2.5 off duty. That's qualifying. Both of those are qualifying breaks. As long as the longer portion of it, you know, the 7 or 8 hours, or anything in between that 7 and 8 hours, is in the sleeper, that is the qualifying side of the longer break. It has to be in the sleeper. That's pretty simple. That's it. I'm going to explain to you how to use it here in just a minute. It gives you flexibility throughout your day. This is how it's going to help you. It doesn't create more driving time, and you don't get more time throughout the day. It does pause your 14-hour clock. An example is, let's say you're in a major city, or you're going to be going through a major city, and you know, hey, I'm going to be stuck in traffic for a couple of hours. Instead of staying stuck in traffic for a couple of hours, why not stop before you get there, take a 2 or 3 hour break, do whatever you're going to do. You can take a nap, grab some lunch, you can do whatever, and that's your first part of your qualified break. Then, once that first part of your qualifying break is done and all the traffic, or hopefully all of the traffic, is gone, you get to moving again and finish out your 11 hours or as much of your 11-hour drive time as you want to. Then you complete the other part of your 10-hour break. If you took 3 off before you went through the city, 3 off duty, and then finished out your 11 hours, then you take 7 hours in the sleeper, and that's both qualifying breaks. Doesn't have to be 3. It could be 2. It could be 2 1/4 or 2, you know, whatever. As long as the second portion equals 10 hours, you're good. So I'm going to draw out on the actual log page and try to explain how it would look if you're splitting your 10-hour break up. So say whenever you start your day, you know, you're going to have 11 hours of available driving time, 14 hours available time altogether. I'm going to start at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. This is not going to be precise, folks, but we'll get as close as we can to precision here. But I'm going to draw out what it should look like on paper, so you could actually know what it should look like. And if anyone wants me to do a video on doing paper logs, because you actually need to do them, because if your ELD goes down, you should know how to do paper logs to meet the qualifications of the DOT. Because they see that you don't know what you're doing, then it can be a real pain in your backside. But anyway, so let's say you start your day, you do your pre-trip. I'm going to put PTI. You drive 5 hours. You get to that city I just talked about after you've driven 5 hours. So let's see, that's 10:15. Like I said, this is not going to be perfect, folks, but we'll get close enough. We're going to draw it like this. There's a few ways you can put your flags down, and this one's fine. All right, so break. Not exactly perfect. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if the camera's going to focus in on it or not. But we started, you know, we're in the sleeper. We get up, we go to pre-trip. We go up, we drive 5 hours. And then we're going to get to that city right here. We're going to go off duty for 3 hours. Then once you're off 3 hours, you're going to have 6 hours of drive time left on your 11-hour clock, right? So we're going to come down once we're done with that, and we're going to tie these together, because with that, like I said, I'm not doing this perfect, but you guys will get the point. I'll do a paper logbook video later on. I might as well just go ahead and do that. But you do that, 3 hours off. And then later on, after your 3 hours, say you drive your full 11-hour clock, you have 6 hours left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15. That's what I was thinking. And then we're going to do a little quick post trip. So this is what it, wait a minute. So pre-trip, post-trip, I didn't draw in all of the excess stuff in here. There's no need in it. This just, showing you the split brake. Hopefully you can see that well enough. Your sleeper here, you come across pre-trip, 5 hours driving, 3 hours off, 6 hours driving, post-trip. Up here, go straight to sleeper, and then out your day. So at the end of the day, I have 4.5 hours in sleeper. So I have to do the remainder on the next page to complete the 7 hours that I didn't have, that it completes the 10-hour break. Hopefully that's a decent example of how it breaks up. Whenever you do this also, say you do your 7 in the sleeper and you get up to drive again, you do your pre-trip and you get going again. Once you go to this 3 hours off, your 14-hour clock pauses. Instead of having to be, we started at 5 a.m. Instead of having to be off at 7 p.m., it extends out 3 more hours is what you're allowed. So if you were on duty or doing something beyond that, your 14-hour window extends out because you took 3 off and you're going to split your break later, if that makes sense. It'll push out your 14-hour clock to later on, 3 hours actually past that. So instead of 7, it would be 10 p.m. Another thing about e-logs, instead of you having to sit here and calculate all of this stuff, it's going to do it for you. There should be a little button on there that says split sleeper. Whenever you have the first qualifying break, it'll say, split sleeper, you click it, and it'll do all the calculations for you. You don't have to figure it all up. It's pretty easy peasy. But that's what it does. Say you started here, 5 a.m. like I said, and then you drive out, 5 hours, and you go 3 off duty, and then drive out your other 6, and then you come down here. It moves from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. It moves it to 10 p.m. if you want to drive that late. That gives you a lot more room, a lot more flexibility to do things instead of just being stuck in the 14-hour window. Whenever you take these breaks, also just be sure to take the break, just actually be, off duty and relaxing some, because you don't want to drive excess hours and just be tired all the time. It's no fun. I know, I've done it a lot. One thing a lot of people use this for, whether it's legal or not, it depends on who's reading the rules. But whatever, it is what it is. Say you get to a customer loading or unloading, and they say, hey, it's going to be 3 hours before you get loaded or unloaded. A lot of people go off duty for that amount of time. Once they get loaded, unloaded, what have you, you're not actually doing work. You're sitting in your truck scrolling TikTok or watching TV or whatever. And like I said, there's a lot of back and forth as far as, oh, that's not legal. If you're there, you're not released from the truck. You're responsible for whatever, yada, 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 and all this. I get it. I really do get it. But if you look at it like that, once you get in that truck and you get on the road and you're going from here to here to here and you don't go home, you're responsible for that truck for 24 hours a day. So what are you supposed to do? Anyway, that's what I do. And if it's legal, fine. If it's not, fine. But it is what it is. You have to decide for yourself what you want to do. If I'm a shipper or a receiver and they're taking too long, I'm not sitting there on duty the whole time. I have to make money. Also, once you, finish that 7 hours in the sleeper, that doesn't give you a full clock back. It gives you, say you just drove from the beginning here to here, you drove 6 hours. And whatever, on your 14-hour clock is figured from here to here, whatever you burned in that time, once you finish your 7-hour break that's on the tail end in the sleeper, whatever's left off of, say, your 11-hour drive, you get 5 hours of drive time back. It just keeps cycling over and over and over, and that's all you get back. A friend of mine used this whenever he's running east to west because he don't want to do his 30-minute break. And if you really think about it, it saves time. If you're running, say, east to west, you got really long runs. You're just driving all day. He was like, instead of stopping and taking a 30-minute break, he'd stop and take a 2-hour break and then drive out the rest of his day and then do, whatever was left, 8 hours in the sleeper or whatever, and then get up the next morning and over, round and round he did all the way till he got to the West Coast. And then once you get to the point where you're going to take a complete 10-hour break or more, all of that resets back to, you get 100% of everything except for your 70-hour clock. But he would do that to keep from having to do the 30-minute break every day. So if you look at it, you're saving 30 minutes a day by not having to take that 30-minute break. Instead, you're taking 2 hours, which is a qualified part of your 10-hour break. Makes a lot of sense to me. You go east to west 3 days, that's an hour and a half that you're actually going down the road instead of sitting still. And that can add up, 70, 80, 90 miles, depending on how fast your truck will run. So where a lot of drivers get confused is thinking the split sleeper gives them extra hours. It doesn't. It doesn't give you any extra hours. You still have to take your break, the same amount of breaks in 24-hour period as everyone else. You just are allowed to split them up somewhat. You have to have your 2 qualifying breaks. Instead of just one long one, you get 2 shorter ones if you want to do it that way. Another mistake is people trying to force the split sleeper when a normal 10-hour break would be best. This doesn't work all of the time. There's certain situations it does and certain it does, some that it does not. So just keep that in mind as you're doing this. My advice to you is just learn this the best you can, understand it, how it works, but don't feel like you got to use it every day because you don't. It's not an everyday use most of the time. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It depends on what you're running. A lot of experienced drivers hardly ever use it, depending on what they're running. Some do. I use it occasionally. It just depends on how the day's going or how the week's going. I do not use it day after day after day because I'm going to tell you right now, it will work your butt off if you do. And if you're used to taking a 10-hour break every day and then you go from that to a 2 or 3 hour break and then a 7 in the sleeper, 7 hours is not a whole lot, folks. So keep that in mind. But it's a tool that you can use whenever you need it. The split sleeper break is not about getting more hours. That's the simplest way to put it. It's about getting more flexibility so you can get down the road further, because that's the name of the game in this business. Getting down the road from point A to point B a lot faster and a lot easier on less. It helps us skip traffic, helps us get better parking at times, helps us deal with the customer delays that we're going to have to deal with because it's part of the industry. That's what the split sleeper is about. It's just to help you make more of your day as you go through it. But you do not have to use it. It is totally up to you. I hope this helped you guys figure this out. If you have any questions or comments, as normal, as always, put them down below. I'll read over them, and this may be more in depth, hopefully, that you can understand it. But I appreciate you watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video.